Welcome to the next lecture in electric circuit analysis. In this lecture, we are going to focus our discussion on independent and dependent voltage and current sources. So, we will start our discussion on circuit elements. Basically, two types of circuit elements we are going to define, that is the active elements and the passive elements. Two types of elements in any electric circuit are the passive elements and the active elements. An active element is capable of generating energy while a passive element is not. It means that the active elements are used or the source of electrical energy. That is, active elements produce or generate energy. Passive elements do not generate energy. The example of passive elements are resistors, capacitors, and inductors. Active elements are the generators, batteries, and operational amplifiers. So we can see from the example of the passive and active elements as those elements which dissipate energy like resistors and those elements which are storing energy like capacitors and inductors are basically the passive elements, whereas the elements which produce or generate electricity or energy like generators, batteries, and operational amplifiers are basically the active elements. The main aim of this particular section is to discuss on the active elements. The most important active elements are basically the voltage and the current sources. So when we talk about the active elements which generate the electrical energy, we will focus our discussion on the voltage and the current sources. And these sources deliver power to the circuit which are connected to them. Now these sources, voltage and current sources, are basically are of two types of sources are there. One is known as the independent sources and another we have dependent sources. So voltage and current sources can be independent or dependent. Let us focus our discussion first on the voltage source and then we will move to the current source. Sources, that is the source of electrical energy, are the voltage and the current. Now a voltage source is basically that device which generates an exact output voltage which in theory does not change regardless of the load current. So voltage source basically will generate the voltage whatever is required and it will not change irrespective of the load current. So whatever the load current might be there or whatever the amount of the load might be there, the voltage source will produce the exact output voltage. Similarly, a current source is capable of supplying a constant current flow to a circuit regardless of the voltage developed across its terminal. So whatever the voltage might develop across the terminal, the current will remain the constant using a current source. Now the source again can be ideal or practical. So the voltage and the current sources can be the ideal sources or the practical sources. So let us understand the difference between the ideal source and the practical source. Let us take the example of a voltage source. So in a voltage source, if the internal resistance of the voltage source is zero, it means whatever the voltage it produces, the same amount of voltage we are getting at the output terminal. Such type of voltage sources are known as the ideal voltage sources. Whereas in the practical voltage source, we have some internal resistance, and because of this internal resistance, the output voltage will always be less than the input voltage Vs. Now, if I draw the voltage current characteristic of the voltage source, then we find that for an ideal voltage source, the input voltage, that is Vs, remains constant, whereas for the practical voltage source, due to the internal resistance it will fall a lot and the output voltage will be less than the source voltage. Similarly, in the current source, if we differentiate the ideal from the practical one, there is a resistance which is connected in parallel. If this resistance is infinite, that is, it is an open circuit, then it is known as ideal current source. Whereas, if there is a resistance connected to the parallel circuit, which is a definite value, then that is known as the practical current source. In the practical current source, there will be some amount of current drop in the output terminal because some current will flow in the shunt part. So if we see the exact value of the practical current source, we find that the source current I0 will be equal to the current from the generator minus the current from the load IR. That is, if you have Is as the source producing minus IR as the current through the load register or the parallel register, instead of telling the load register, will focus it on the internal resistance of the current sources, then we will get the output current. So this is the actual value of the current that is available at the terminal, whereas the current basically produces Is. So obviously Is will be more than I0 or I0 will be less than Is. So if we draw the current voltage relationship of an ideal and the practical current source, if the source remains constant, then that is known as ideal current source. However, if the source decreases due to the internal resistance which is connected in parallel, then it is known as the practical current source. So output current will be less than the source current, and the current that is flowing from the internal resistor will be equal to the voltage that is available at the output divided by the resistance of the parallel path. Now we will discuss the different type of sources, independent and dependent sources. So an ideal independent source is an active element. So any source which is producing a voltage or a current is basically an active element. An ideal element we have discussed which will have no internal resistance of its own. That will provide a specific voltage or a current. It means that any ideal source which produces a specified voltage or a current and it is independent of other circuit elements, then such type of sources are known as the independent sources. So other circuit elements will have no role on the output voltage or the current from the sources. So we can see the symbol of the voltage source and the current source, which are ideal in nature and they are independent. So we can represent the voltage source having a positive and negative sign indicating the higher potential and the lower potential. It can be time varying or it can be DC voltage. So if we have two sign parallel lines, it means it is a battery, and if you have a sign given with a circular, then it can be constant as well as time varying. Whereas if the sign given is with the help of an arrow, then it is basically a current source. Here in both the circuit, we don't have any internal resistance RS0. It means that it is an ideal source. If there are some resistance associated with it, then it is known as the practical source. An ideal independent voltage source. Now we have discussed the combined source. So if we differentiate the voltage source and the current source, an ideal independent voltage source will deliver to the circuit whatever the current is necessary to maintain its terminal voltage. So basically it will provide that much current which will require the terminal voltage to be constant. So it is basically an ideal independent voltage source. If we see the example, then the batteries and the generators, they are the physical source of ideal voltage sources. Whereas if we take the current source which is independent and ideal, it is also the active element and it is producing or providing a specific current completely independent of the voltage across the source. So whatever may be the voltage across the source, the current will be constant and as specified. That is, it can be said that it is delivering to the circuit whatever the voltage is necessary to maintain that designated current. So in the current source, it is providing the voltage to maintain the designated current. So independent sources can be the voltage source and the current source. It can be ideal or it can be practical. So we have taken the example of the ideal. Now we'll focus on the dependent sources. The dependent sources are also known as the controlled sources, and it is also an active element in which source quantity, whether it is a voltage or a current, is dependent on another voltage or a current in some part of the circuit. So that is the reason it is known as controlled, because the voltage and the current source is not independent, rather than it is dependent on some other voltage or the current in some part of the circuit. Here the symbol is of diamond shape. So whenever the diamond shape symbols are used, we have to understand that are basically the dependent sources. Rest we will be having a positive and the negative sign for the voltage source and an arrow sign for a current source. But the diamond shape symbol will indicate that it is a dependent sources. Control of the dependent source is achieved by a voltage or a current of some other element in the circuit. So in a network having so many elements, the dependent source, that is the voltage or the current source, its voltage or a current will be dependent on some other element, and the source can be voltage or a current. So that we are going to see. So basically 4 possible types of dependent sources can be there. So 4 different combinations can be there. Either it can be a voltage controlled voltage source, current controlled voltage source, voltage controlled current source, or current controlled current source. So these 2 voltage sources can be either voltage controlled or a current controlled, and the current source can be again a voltage controlled or a current controlled. So basically 4 types we can have for the dependent sources. Dependent sources are useful in modeling elements such as transistors, operational amplifiers, and integrated circuit. Generally in electronics, these dependent sources plays a very important role in modeling aspect where we are dealing with transistors, operational amplifiers, and integrated circuits. Now we can see the dependent voltage source and dependent current source. So if we have the voltage source, and since it is dependent, we will be having a diamond shape symbol with positive and negative terminal. Now if we have a current source which is dependent, then we will be having an arrow shape with a diamond symbol. So now it is a dependent voltage source. So the voltage is dependent on some other quantities in the network. If you have a current source which is dependent, can be some other quantities in the network. So if we can say that there is a current controlled voltage source, it means it is a voltage source which is a diamond shape with positive negative sign. So that is a voltage source, and it is a current control. So basically the voltage is depending on the current. Similarly, if we have a current source, then it will be current source with a diamond symbol and arrow sign, and this is voltage control. So the current is dependent on some other quantity, that is voltage. In this circuit we can see that there are 2 types of sources. So one is at 5 volt and another is 10I, and other elements A, B and C might be the other type of elements in the network, whether it can be resistor, inductor or capacitor. So sources are of 2 types. So 5 volt source is basically the independent voltage source, whereas the other type of source which is represented by a diamond symbol, so it is a dependent source. We have a positive negative sign, so it is a voltage source and it is dependent on current I, the current which is flowing in this part of the network. So we can say that this is a voltage which is dependent on current. So voltage dependent current source. In this way we have seen the different type of sources. Now we will see some connection. So if the voltage source are connected together, how it would be. Now voltage sources connected in parallel. If 2 voltage sources are connected in parallel, then it should be always of the same magnitude. The magnitude should be equal, because in a parallel circuit we should maintain the equal voltage. Now suppose there can be a bad connection like where a 10 volt source and a 5 volt source are connected in parallel. It has no meaning and it is basically a wrong type of connection, that is the shorted source. So always in parallel connection the two voltage sources should be of equal magnitude, whereas in series we can have the two sources of different magnitude. It can be either additive or it can be opposite. For example, if we see that here we have a 10 volt source and here you have a 5 volt source and both sources are in the same direction, which is increasing potential. So we can say that the circuit is additive in nature or the sources are additive in nature. So 10 volt plus 5 volt will have 15 volt at the output. Whereas if the source of 10 volt and 5 volt are opposing each other, then we will be having a 5 volt at the output. So it is basically voltage subtraction. Now special point to be noted are two things. In parallel connection we should have equal voltage magnitude, and in series connection we can have either additive or subtractive and it can be of different sources. Similarly, when we connect the current sources in parallel, we should have both current can be of equal magnitude or different magnitude. So we can see in this network we have 5 ampere current source. So both are adding here to give 10 ampere at the output. Now it can be additive or it can be subtractive. So here we can see that 5 ampere current source, one is entering the circuit and one it is leaving the circuit. So obviously the junction point, the current source will be 0. Here we can see that 5 ampere is entering the circuit and 3 ampere is leaving the circuit. So the current which is leaving the node will be 2 ampere. So current source can be anything which is connected in parallel. Either it can be of same magnitude or it can be of different magnitude. Now we can have a series connection. If two current sources are in the same direction, it will be additive in nature. So it is equivalent to say that two current sources of 5 ampere magnitude is equivalent to 10 ampere current source which is connected in the equivalent part. So voltage and current source can be connected in series or parallel. In this particular lecture, we have focused our discussion on independent and dependent sources of connections, and we have seen the active and the passive elements. Thank you for now and see you in the next lecture.